Welcome to Gator Talk. My name is Autumn Alvarez. I'm a staff reporter for GGX. This week we're discussing how students like yourself can get acquainted in the gym, figure out what to exercise, how to exercise, and just learn how to build an exercise routine on your own. To help us out, we have Mashouf Wellness personal trainer Singh with us.
Hi, thanks for interviewing me. I've been training for about over a year, but I've been working out in athletics for like 10 years.
Nice. What first got you interested in it?
Well, when high school started, I wanted to be in sports because it's like a great way to like talk to people and meet people. And then I fell in love with rowing, and I wanted to be good at it. And to be good at anything, you have to work hard at it. And
Sure.
working out always comes with that. And so getting into that, I realized like a lot of my friends like weren't as interested in working out, but I didn't want them to fall behind because I wanted them to be there with me. Mm-hmm. And so I just got really into like helping people and like showing them how to like do stuff. And further on down the road, I realized I could make a career out of that. I wanted to be a physical therapist, and personal training was just kind of the next step before getting there, obviously.
Yeah.
But I've always loved just showing people how to do stuff properly and like helping them find a love for conditioning and training, because I know not everyone does. And I'm kind of a weirdo in the way that I love going to the gym. If I could work out all day, like I would, but it's obviously not great to be in there too long. But yeah, just finding ways to also be around the gym more probably like pushed me into training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sports and training go hand in hand. So
definitely
perfect kind of middle ground for you. So getting started, I think getting started in the gym is a little scary at first if you're new, if you kind of just like don't know the equipment, don't know what you're doing, don't know what exercise is best for you. But what do you recommend is the first place to start when it comes to someone wanting to join a gym or just get in the gym?
Okay. I think obviously the first step is making the commitment to get there. I think showing up is part of the battle. Let's say it's like half the battle is showing up.
Yeah.
And then, kind of take a walk around the gym, like see what everything is there, like see what people are using, what people aren't. And if you're going to Mashouf, we actually have some QR codes by like equipment. You can scan that and it'll show you to do stuff. Cool. I think the hardest part is like knowing what to grab at first. If you see any trainers around with their trainer shirts on that aren't training somebody, it's a great resource to just say like, hey, how can I get started? Mm-hmm. But if you're really just coming in first day, go out there and like get on a treadmill and like just do some cardio, warm up a little, like get the blood flowing, because just being in there and like doing something will make you feel a bit better about being there. Mm-hmm. The adrenaline gets going, you feel a little more confident about your surroundings.
Yeah, definitely. And do you recommend that people have like a game plan when they go in there? Like you said, start with cardio to warm up your body. Maybe it's like weightlifting for the first time, or it's like, okay, maybe I'll do like Pilates, or I'll just start with like, what do you recommend in that regard?
I think we do have some good classes. I think taking a class is always a great way to just meet people in your community at the gym as well, because I think people in the gym are going to be the best resource for you, like talking to them and figuring out what you want to do. Finding a goal, if that's important to you, if you want to build muscle in a certain area, then like go hit some weights and do some upper body workouts. I think it can be hard to figure out what the first thing you want to do is, like whether you want to go hit bench press, do some curls. So again, talking to people, I think most people are very like welcoming at the gym if you really talk to them. It might not always seem like that. I think it's intimidating.
Yeah.
And obviously if someone's in the middle of a set, or like it's not the best person to walk up to.
Sure.
But I definitely think like coming in there and thinking like, I want to do some upper body, there's definitely like, you're going to find at least 2 or 3 people that are going to give you tips on what to do, because everyone loves to talk gym in the gym. It's like, it's just how we chop up in the gym. Mm-hmm. But definitely if it's your very first day, I wouldn't recommend having a super set game plan, just because you've never worked out yet. So you also want to see how your body's going to react to different things.
That's true.
And just get in there and like have the expectation that you're going to spend a set amount of time there. And try to work some things out that you'll do. I think a lot of people think they want to like Google stuff, and I can find that to be hard to find good information on unless you're really looking in like a sports journal. And I know not everyone has the bandwidth to look for that. I think there's a lot of dangerous stuff you can do that can hurt yourself if you like find the wrong things on Google. So I want people to kind of more talk to people around the gym and see what feels good, and like see if that person knows what they're talking about. It's a lot easier to see if someone knows what they're talking about versus like a Google article. Like they can all kind of look professional, but there's a lot of stuff out there that really isn't like gym smart, you know?
Yeah, I know. I've fallen into the trap of like Google and then Instagram and then just like trying to figure out like who has the best information, who has the right information. So I think definitely, like you said, like I was at the gym Tuesday and I saw those QR codes for like the first time. And I was like, oh, wow, like that's really cool that people can just like, you know, go with their phone and figure out how to use this machine. I think that's really helpful to beginners, beginner friendly. If they have like a set idea, like they want to go into weightlifting, should they like start a program? Should they start a routine?
Okay, so I would say if you've never picked up a weight at all, I think the first thing you do is pick up a weight. I mean,
Yes.
obviously, just to see how that feels. I think building a program is very important, but you need to know like what you want to do. So like kind of need to feel out like, okay, if I pick up tens, is that something that looks light, but like, is that light if I get under it and try to like do a bench press with it? And that might be super light. It might be pretty heavy, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone starts at a different place.
Sure.
But I would say like get loose before you work out, obviously. In terms of building a program, I think that's when you really want to use these resources I'm talking about and talking to people, because everyone kind of like that like has been in the gym for a while is running on their own split, their own program that they've set up and they've talked about and worked with other people for.
Yeah.
So it's best to just use your resources. Talk to someone you know that's been in the gym for longer, but don't try to do like 15 things at once, I would say, and try to give yourself a little grace period, I'd say. Like when you're starting a program or when you're starting out in the gym, like everyone wants to be like, all right, I'm going to be in the gym every day this week. And then they don't go the second day, and it becomes discouraging in your head because you're like, I told myself I was going to do this and I didn't do this. And then Wednesday comes and you're feeling bad about Tuesday. And it actually keeps you from going on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think people need to understand, like, you know, it's hard to make a lot of change at once. So try to come in like twice a week, and then try to come in 3 times a week, and like try to improve on that. And so following a program kind of comes after that, because the program really comes when you're coming in 3 to 4 days a week, and then you can really follow that program, you know?
Right.
I find like people that want to jump into a program and they've been going to the gym 0 times a week, like discourage themselves because they come in once, don't come in, and then they feel bad, and that carries over, you know? You don't want the gym to feel like a requirement. You want to make it part of your schedule and get comfortable going.
Yeah, and that comes to my next question, because I know I'm the same way. Like I think I started going to the gym like a year ago. I think it was like a year actually this month. And so I definitely got discouraged when I like missed a day, or it was like I couldn't fit it into my schedule. I think as busy students, it's kind of hard sometimes, and you have your classes, you gotta go to work, and then you also want to take care of yourself. And so missing those days was discouraging. It was kind of like, you know, I'm not even taking care of myself, or it's like I'm failing at this new thing. What do you think is like the sweet spot for, I know, like starting a routine? Do you think it's 4 days a week? Do you think that it's like 3 days a week as a beginner? Like how should students approach it?
I think, well, first of all, I think getting that first day under your belt is huge. I think approaching it at 4 days a week is a little aggressive. I mean, it'd be great if we could all go to the gym like, you know, every day basically, and like get 1 rest day a week, 6 days a week. Try to make it, like I said, like 2 times a week at first, moving up to 3 times a week, but like slowly adding days versus like I'm gonna make these 4 days, because again, you don't want to attach like negative thoughts to that. I really think it's important people like see that as something they're building on. It's like cliche, but like Rome wasn't built in a day, you know, like your program isn't going to be like that, like all of a sudden. The gym, everything in the gym is a work in progress. I mean, we see it in like building muscle isn't taken like a week, it's taken a month. Like results come within over time. It's the same with just building that into your routine. It comes over time. You need to slowly adjust that in. I mean, we all know how hard it is when like fall starts and like all our classes are every day in like the week, and like your schedule just changes, you know? But like you have to do that because there's grades and stuff. There's no grade in the gym, and so it can be a little difficult to force yourself all of a sudden to have 4 days a week. I think building to that 4 days a week is ideal. I think people probably start out at 2 days a week, and I would challenge you to get into a routine of at least 3 times a week, and that probably happens for about a month or two before people start thinking, okay, like I can get this fourth day in, and like I want to, you know.
Just like setting realistic expectations for yourself and not like putting too much, because I mean, as students we already have enough going on in our lives.
Oh,
And then
definitely.
adding the gym, it's great, but just, you know, starting easy and easing yourself into it is really nice. How do you think that nutrition and exercise and working out, I mean, they do go hand in hand, and I think lately there's been such like a pressure to have more protein, to have this, to have that, but also nutrition is kind of expensive.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
how do you go about it?
So my approach initially was just like making the smallest changes in like my diet throughout the day. Like I can skip this like snack, or like I don't need to eat this, or like I'll have almond milk instead of like whole milk. It's the smallest changes at 1st, and you see small differences, but you feel a bit better.
Yeah.
And then like once you feel a little better in the gym, or like just in general, like walking around, you start to think, okay, how can I make like another change? Like what can I fix? And once you start like doing that and start making more and more changes, like you start hitting better like numbers in the gym, you start working out better and feeling better. And then it just kind of starts bouncing off each other. Like you want to keep fixing that. In terms of like accessibility to nutritious food, that can be pretty tough. I would say like, I mean, Trader Joe's like chicken
They're
breast
cheap.
is like nice.
Jeez,
Yeah. Eating out is actually more expensive. I think eating unhealthy can actually be more expensive sometimes. If you already cook all your own meals and you're looking for like healthier options, sometimes then if you're already like healthy and you want to get even healthier, then it's like, okay, yeah, the price is going to go up. I would say there's a lot of fad diets out there too. People want to like drop one macro and like focus on just like protein and fats over carbs and stuff. And I'm not a dietitian. I can't tell you what's right or what's wrong, but I would say that those fad diets are called fad diets for a reason. They don't stick
don't
around for
last.
too long. Yeah, exactly.
Circling back to what we were talking about in the beginning, how the gym can be really daunting, and kind of seeing people that are already like seasoned, you know, in the gym, and they know what they're doing and they have their muscles packed on already. How can students, how can people in general just feel confident when they walk into the gym? How can they kind of just like brush off any intimidation and just feel, you know, confident?
Yeah, but yeah, try to, next time you're at the gym or next time anyone's at the gym and feeling this, like try to look around and kind of get a feel for the fact that like everyone is so internally focused on their goals and themselves that like no one's comparing themselves with you. And you're also like, you're not racing anybody, you know, you're not competing with the next person. It's not a weightlifting competition. You're competing with yourself. You want to better yourself. And so try not to worry about the person next to you, because there's always gonna be someone stronger than you at the gym.
Yeah.
And there's always gonna be someone weaker than you at the gym too. It's just kind of how it is. 'Cause we all start at different places and we all have different genetics. And
Yeah. I think I've often fallen to that court of just like comparison, like so many times, when you just see, in my case, I'm looking at girls and I'm like, wow, like how did they get there? You know, like I want to look like that one day. And it's like, you know what? I'm not, like you said, you're not in competition with anybody else except for yourself, and you're just trying to be there to better yourself. What would you say to someone who may be struggling with body image, body dysmorphia, and just, you know, looking at themselves and not feeling good, not feeling at their best?
yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I'd say is like you are not alone. I still struggle with my own body image. At my like at the previous gym I worked at, a lot of the other trainers felt that way.
Really?
I would say a lot of people that spend a ton of time in the gym feel exactly like that. I want to tell those people like you're not alone.
Yeah.
I think dealing with that, it's tricky and it's challenging for everybody. I would say like maybe try to stay away from some of the mirrors when you are working out. It is important to look at your form, but if looking at yourself the whole time can kind of discourage you, then I kind of explain to them like you're not going to see those changes in a day or 2 days or 3 days, and also that number is very relative. You want to like try, and it's hard. It's again easier said than done. Like try to think about your workouts and how you're doing and your performance more than your body, because if your performance improves, I promise you, it's going to get better.
I've definitely been there too, where it's just like you look at yourself and you're just not happy and you're like, how can I change this? How can I change that? And you're like nitpicking yourself and just pulling yourself apart a little bit.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I think I've definitely had to like stay away from the mirror and just kind of like, even in the gym, just like, even though I like want to see my form, it's like, you know what, it's better that I just stay away and I focus on my form, focus on how I feel. But is there any last piece of advice that you want to give gym beginners out there?
I would say just walk in with an open mind. Make the commitment to show up first. That's huge. Getting in there is just real big. If you go into the gym, if you force yourself to go in the gym like twice, like in a week, and you have no clue what you want to do, but you've made it there, and you're like struggling to find stuff, but you do something, that's an accomplishment. You know, like you've made it to the gym and you spent some time there.
Yeah.
That's huge. So I think people commonly want to just like be at the top of the ladder like that. You know, there's steps to this.
Yeah.
So just be patient with yourself.
It's going to take time.
Definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sean. I
Thanks for
appreciate your
having me.
time. Yeah. Well, I'm Autumn Alvarez reporting for GGX. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for more episodes.